Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage award-winning researcher, professor at the Wharton School, and author of Location is Still Everything, David Bell.
Okay, good morning everybody. It's great to be here in Miami. I know there's still a few people getting the good coffee and the good espresso that you get in Miami. So what I'm going to speak about for the next 45 minutes is really coming from two perspectives. So first of all, my perspective as a professor at the Wharton School, where I teach digital marketing and e-commerce. And then secondly, my perspective also as a personal investor in some of the new digital economy brands like Bonobos, Warby Parker, Dollar Shave Club, Harry's, and these kinds of companies. And so what we really want to think about today is the future of retail. Retail, of course, is one of the most important sectors in any economy in the world, including the United States. So let me just give a little bit of a rundown of where we're going to go. The first thing I want to think about, or I want us to think about, is to compare the old and the new view of online versus offline. So maybe you remember about 15 years or so ago, people had the view that the online world would kill or destroy or crush the offline world. This is completely untrue. The offline world will never be replaced by the online world, but the offline world will have to change dramatically. So this year in the United States, about 9,000 stores will close. So the store of the future will still exist, but it will be smaller, it will be focused on experience and less focused on fulfillment. So on the same day this year, the 16th of June 2017, Amazon purchased Whole Foods for $13.4 billion US, and Walmart, via Mark Lowry of Jet.com, purchased Bonobos, a company that I invested in, for $310 million US. So the offline large companies like Walmart are becoming online integrated. The online first companies like Amazon are embracing offline. And we see this everywhere we go in the world. If you were to go to China, some of Alibaba's most important recent acquisitions are acquisitions in the online space. So the first thing we must understand very clearly, online and offline work together. The offline world will never, never, never be completely replaced. That's the first thesis. What I want to do now is explain why it is that retail is dead and dying, but also alive and thriving. And I'm going to do two things. First of all, take us through a little bit of history of retailing, how retailing has evolved around the theme of location. And then I'm going to share something I'm calling the BOSS model, B-O-S-S. It's a new way of thinking, a new kind of framework for commerce in 2017, not 1997. So let's get going. So the evolution of location and then the BOSS model. So let's start with the evolution of location. So the idea here is location, location, location. The way people behave in the online world is dictated by their physical location in the offline world. That's an important part of the thesis that I'm going to explain. So if we go back in history, 100 years, 1,000 years, 5,000 years, retail was always location, location, location of the physical store. If my store is here, my demand is good. If my store is here, my demand is no good. Location, 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 the physical store. Then the evolution of e-commerce. Do you know this company, Diapers.com? So Diapers.com began in 2005. It was started by one of our students at the Wharton School. I was an investor in this company. So 2005, Diapers.com. By 2011, this company was sold to Amazon for $545 million US. Then the CEO, Mark Law, we claim that he's a graduate. He never graduated. He was too busy. Okay. But because he's successful, we claim he's a graduate. So Mark Law, after he sold this company to Amazon, He then went and he started jetjet.com, and after 18 months, he sold that company to Walmart for $3.3 billion US dollars. And Mark Law is running Walmart.com. So one interesting thing about the retail economy is when the online first companies add offline, the results are usually very good. When the legacy companies add .com, Walmart.com, Target.com, CrateandBarrel.com, usually the result is no good. It's easier for the online first digital native company to go offline than the reverse. But Mark Law is seeing some good success with Walmart.com. So when we think about e-commerce, it's location, 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 but location of the customer. Let me give you an example. Imagine we have a customer here. What's your name, please? Miriam. So imagine Miriam lives in the Philadelphia suburbs. And we have another customer here. Huh? Arlette. And Arlette lives in the Lower East Side of New York City. Both customers get the same price, the same assortment, the same delivery from diapers.com. The offer is flat. It's the same for you and the same for you. But the demand in e-commerce is never, never flat. The demand from the customer in the Philadelphia suburbs is much higher because her offline option is not as good. So every e-commerce company that I study, the demand of these companies always can be predicted by physical location of customers. If I know your location, I know three things. Number one, I know your characteristics, your socioeconomic standing, the size of your house. I also know your preferences. If you live in the Philadelphia suburbs, you like to barbecue, you like to swim in a pool, you like a big garden, you don't want to see your neighbors, okay? If you live in Manhattan, the Lower East Side, you like wine, you like culture, you like art, you like movies, you don't care about the size of your apartment. So your location will reveal your preference. And number three, your location will reveal your offline opportunity. If you live in Manhattan, next to you is a 24-hour store selling diapers, you don't need diapers.com so much. So this is the second evolution, location, 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 but customers. The third evolution, where we are now, location, 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 but the activities. What kind of experience shall I offer offline? What kind of things shall I offer online? And what is the optimal mix of my retail experience using both online and offline together? So let me explain this with a framework. So in business school, we always joke, everything can be explained by a 2x2 matrix. So here's a 2x2 matrix. So in retail, the first function we have is we have the function of delivering information to customers. I must deliver you information, sir. I must explain the price, the quality, the assortment, the exchange of information. Number two, I must also provide fulfillment of the product. Now, in the beginning, traditional retail is here. I go to a Macy's store, I get my information from the salesperson, I try the jacket, I touch it, I feel it, I buy it, I take it home. Offline information, offline fulfillment. Then about 10 or 15 years ago, I go to jackets.com. I watch a video, I read a review, I look at the price, I look at some pictures, I get my information online, and the product is fulfilled, shipped to my home or shipped to my office. Now, we live in this world where we must consider all four possible combinations. So some legacy retailers, like Tiffany's, like Crate and Barrel, have a very successful business with online information. I purchased for my niece a bracelet, my niece in New Zealand, she's a very good kid, so I go to tiffany's.com, I get the information about the bracelet, I purchase the bracelet, I walk to the store, I pick it up. Online information, offline fulfillment. Warby Parker or Tesla, I go into a Tesla showroom. It's maybe smaller than the stage. I cannot take the car with me. I just get the information about Elon Musk, about the brand, about the style, and I purchase the Model S on my phone. Offline information, online fulfillment. Make sense? Okay, now let's continue to the BOSS model. This is my concept about the new practice of retail, BOSS. So the first B I'm going to say is bonding, not branding. Mastercard, of course, is a brand, but to love Mastercard in the digital economy, I must feel a bond. Who is the #1 shaving company in the world? #1. Gillette. Every man in the world, from Bogota, Auckland, Sydney, London, Tokyo, New York City, they know Gillette, the best a man can get. But Gillette is only a brand. It's owned by P&G. P&G paid $57 billion US. In 4 years, a comedian called Michael Dubin, he stole 10% of the market share of Gillette. DollarShaveClub.com. Dollar Shave Club, I have a bond. I feel something. I connect. Gillette is just a brand. Dollar Shave is a bond. So let me now show a video of a comedian who stole 10% of a $57 billion company. Michael Dubin, let's take a look at bonding, which is a relationship that develops as a result of shared experience. Dollar Shave Club, bonding, not branding. Let's watch the video.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Okay, Dollar Shave Club. Sold to Unilever last year for $1 billion US. This is bonding, not branding. Companies in the old economy, they own intellectual property, they have patent protection, they have manufacturing. In the new economy, they access the manufacturing. Companies in the old economy spend tens or hundreds of millions of dollars to build a brand in traditional media. Companies in the new economy spend nothing to build relevant media that people share and people love. And companies in the old economy try to control the access of the customer. If my friend Sebastian and I open a shaving company, we cannot sell our product to Walmart. They control the distribution, but the new companies go direct to the customer. This is the new playbook of the digital native vertical brand. So for bonding, we need 3 things. First of all, the product has to have functional, emotional, symbolic value. It's kind of the same as the old economy, but we need functional, emotional, symbolic value. Number 2, the companies that succeed in the digital economy are authentic, they are transparent, and they are personalized. Dollar Shave Club, not Gillette. And number 3, companies that create a bond create communities of shareable and scalable content. So of course brand is still important, but to win in the digital economy, I see over and over again, it's bonding, not branding. Number 2, for O, of course in any economy we have to have customers. But in the digital economy, we want orators, not customers. What's the difference? A customer is a transaction, sir, I sell you something, a Gillette razor. An orator is somebody who will tell the story of my brand to other people. In the digital economy, your audience has an audience. You, sir, have 50,000 followers on Instagram. If you come to my business and you like what I do, you share my story with your audience. In the digital economy, the customers of Mastercard, your audience has an audience. So an orator, I'm going to show an example of a company called Warby Parker. Do you guys know this company? Warby Parker? So these guys were my students. I should say, please buy the product. I'm an investor in the company. And this company is like Dollar Shave Club. Who is the company in the world that owns the market for eyewear? Does somebody know? Who owns the global market for eyewear? An Italian company? Luxottica, thank you, Luxottica. Luxottica, if your eyewear says Dolce & Gabbana, Armani, Tiffany, doesn't matter. It was made under license by Luxottica. If you go to the Sunglass Hut, Pearl Vision, the largest retailer in the world, owned by Luxottica. If you go to an insurance company for your prescription, owned by Luxottica. So my student asked the question, why should a pair of glasses cost the same price as an iPhone? Why? Why are my glasses $500 when the manufacturing cost is $25? Enter Warby Parker. Now in the United States, the number 1 and number 2 retailers, Apple and Tiffany. Number 3, Warby Parker. So we can learn a lot from this company. Orators, not customers. So this gentleman here, Tyler Oakley, he has about 5 million followers, and he's on YouTube. He's opening the Warby Parker sampling program. I'm going to show you a video of the sampling program. So when Tyler Oakley speaks about the product, his followers listen and they engage with Warby Parker. So again, orators, we have 3 pieces. The customer must have a shareable story to tell other people. Number 2, the firm must identify the relevant influencers. There are 3 categories of influencers that I will explain. And number 3, the firm must use incentives to motivate customers to tell the story. So here is the shareable story of Warby Parker. Warby Parker, please keep being great and combating Luxottica's monopoly, the shareable story. You must identify the influencers. There are 3 categories. Number 1, Ryan Gosling, kind of famous influencer. Number 2, the organic influencer, Tyler Oakley. Did you guys know in YouTube, from the top 500 channels, maybe only 10 are owned by brands? People don't care about content produced by brands, on average. They care about content produced by people. There's a guy called PewDiePie. He plays video games in his basement. He has about 50 million people watching him play video games. They love him. If Nike makes a video, it's a great brand, nobody cares so much. So identify influencers, and then also some intrinsic or extrinsic incentive to motivate the customer to tell your story. The next one, S. So a setting or a place for creating experience. We're thinking about a showroom, not a store. The old model of retail is very, very inefficient. It combines the information function and the inventory function together. That's a bad idea in the digital economy. So a showroom looks something like this. This is one of the Warby Parker showrooms in New York City. If you have a chance, if you go to Boston, you go to Chicago, you go to New York, LA, San Francisco, Kansas, I encourage you to check out Warby Parker. We also have movable showrooms. So Warby Parker had the iconic yellow school bus driving around the United States. Every time the bus stopped, it's generating some awareness for the brand. Do you guys know this one, Casper? It's another billion-dollar brand. It just received some investment by Target. They sell mattresses online. Some students from Columbia University started this company. So if you think about your bedroom, your bathroom, your kitchen, your living room, there are hundreds of products that could be improved and sold direct online. So now I'm going to show you another video. It's a video from Warby Parker from their sampling program.
This man needs glasses. He has very high standards and particular tastes. Boutiques are expensive and have left him disappointed. And with discount retailers, the results are unpredictable. So he's trying Warby Parker. The virtual try-on tool gives him recommendations to fit his face. And with the home try-on program, he gets 5 pairs shipped to his home for free. He can spend quality time with each pair and pick the very best one. The vintage-inspired frames are handsome and well-built. It's very important to find the right frames. And when it happens, he just sends Warby Parker his prescription, and his frames come back lenses in for $95. And for every pair they sell, Warby Parker gives a pair to someone in need. He likes that. Now he's got the frames he wants. A pair that fits right and looks good. Find your pair at warbyparker.com.
Okay, so a showroom, not a store. This is also interesting. This is kind of a trend of some of these new companies, is a sampling program. I send you the product, sir, to your home, you try it for free, and you send it back. That also creates a process of word of mouth. So the showroom really has 3 features. It's a physical space where the customer has a great experience. It's locationally, operationally efficient, holding no inventory, and then also leverages the store space with technology to amplify the benefit of what happens there. So in the future, I think of a retail environment, it looks more like a Tesla showroom compared to a car dealership in New Jersey with 1,000 cars on the lot, except the car that you want. That's the model of the old economy. This is the model of the new economy. As you may know, at Wharton we have 2 quite famous alumni. One is Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla. He never mentions the Wharton School. We have another guy on Twitter every day, DJT. He mentions the Wharton School a lot. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm just a Kiwi. I didn't vote, so, okay. Here is the Bonobos store. Bonobos was the first company founded in 2007 by 2 students from Stanford Business School. And it's the zero inventory store. You go in, you have an appointment, you try the product, but there's nothing that you can physically take away. Operationally efficient with a great experience. And then number 3, using technology in the store to increase the basket size, to increase the customer engagement. So maybe the ladies in a room, if you have a chance, visit the stores of Rebecca Minkoff in New York City. When you enter that store, there's a mirror where you put your telephone number, then all of your information appears on an iPad, so I can understand exactly what you want and what you need. When you go into the changing room, the mirror will recommend, with this jacket, you should try this shirt, so increasing the productivity of the physical space using technology. And then the final piece, I think for time, I'm going to skip this, but I'll just mention very briefly. So Bonobos was a company that I invested in and was acquired by Walmart for $310 million. And Bonobos was the original company with the zero inventory store. Now, what I found from my research is if a gentleman goes to this store, his future will be forever changed by the physical experience. So maybe I'll explain this because we started late. Is it okay? I can steal 5 minutes? Okay. I'm a professor, so I can talk all day until, okay. So let's imagine ZES, this means zero inventory store. So Bonobos has two kinds of customers. The customers here in the blue, these customers, their first purchase occurred offline in a Bonobos showroom. The pink customers, their first purchase was online, bonobos.com. So you can see that the customers born in the store, the blue customers, they're 17% of the customers, but 21% of the sales. They are buying proportionally more product from Bonobos. So what's the reason? So the reason is something I call supercharging from offline. So let's imagine, sir, your name please? Rodrigo. So Rodrigo here is in the front, and Rodrigo and I don't know each other. So if I send an email to Rodrigo, it's very low energy interaction, very low energy. Maybe Rodrigo deletes, okay? Then if I call Rodrigo on the telephone, and he hears my New Zealand accent, now we have some more feeling about each other, and I hear Rodrigo's voice. Then Rodrigo and I, we meet in Miami. We share some good Colombian espresso together. So our connection increased to here. Does it make sense? From the offline interaction, now we know each other. So in the future, when I send an email to Rodrigo, the energy does not drop to here. The energy will stay high. The offline experience can create more energy for the customer, even if in the future the purchasing is online. That was my theory. So I tested it with the data, and the red customer is a customer we call, let's say, Tom. Imagine Tom. And Tom only shops online. Bob, or Rodrigo, he in the beginning, the yellow, before he goes into the offline experience, he's the same. After the offline experience, in the future, he will buy more, shop more often, purchase a bigger assortment, and he will return the product less. The offline experience will change the lifetime value of the customer. If I go to some offline, I don't know what, small shop, Mastercard experience concept, and I have some feeling, in the future, I will be more bonded to Mastercard even through my online transactions. That's the theory. Okay, the final one, systematic knowledge of the world from experimentation and observation. I think you guys at Mastercard are very sophisticated at this. This is the S of science. Science, not service. Bonding, not branding. Orators, not customers, showrooms, not stores. Service says, "Sir, Rodrigo, can I help you? What do you need?" Science, I know what Rodrigo needs before Rodrigo knows himself. That's the difference, okay? So science, not service. Again, we have 3 pieces I think are very interesting. So the first one I call surfacing. Surfacing. So search in my phone and Google is kind of painful. It's very inefficient. Imagine I want some Nike shoes. I'm walking in Manhattan. I type on my phone, Nike shoes. Google will show me a map. A, B, C. Here's some locations of stores selling Nike. That's painful for me. In the future, I will walk and my phone will bing, bing. Over here are the Nike shoes you want. I will walk and my phone will bing, bing. Over here is the Belgian beer that you like to drink. So the surfacing, the biggest problem for offline is we don't know what's there. Maybe, Rodrigo, you really like tailored blue shirts, and 100 meters away is the best blue shirt store in Miami, but you don't know. So science in the future will surface the relevant offline information to the customer. Okay? So surfacing offline information. I have a friend in San Francisco who's working now on this concept to reveal everything about your physical environment. The second one, maybe more for the ladies, guys also. Do you know Stitch Fix? Stitch Fix, huh? Just had the IPO last week. 34-year-old CEO, Katrina Lake, $2 billion company. I put some product in a box, some shirts, some shoes, some pants. I send you the box. You keep something, you send something back. That's the model. And every time I send a box, my prediction is improving the DNA of customization. In my hotel room, I have a little vitamin packet. It says, "Made for David." It's a company called Care Of. You go to their website, you enter your age, your exercise, it makes a vitamin just for you. Does it help me? I don't know, but I buy it. So, the DNA of customization. And then the final piece, where we end, is the amazing ability for data mining. So maybe you know this company. There's a company near Cambridge University in the United Kingdom. It's called Magic Source. So think of a diagram, x-axis, y-axis. If, sir, your name, please? Konstantinos. Konstantinos, if I can catch about 20 pieces of information from your digital footprint, your tweets, your Facebook likes, your Instagram post, from 20 pieces of information, my knowledge about you is about the same as if I knew you for 2 months. If I catch only 300 pieces of data, I will know you as well as you're known by your wife, with only 300. So using all of the data to understand science, not service. So I think now we actually got to the end. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope the accent was okay and that you enjoyed the videos. Please buy some Warby Parker. Help me out. I'm just a professor. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.